You're an insurance agent wanting to do final expense telesales. I'm going to help you understand the top carriers of 2022. I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the top carriers you're going to want to know and use so that you find higher levels of success. And I'm also going to give you some words of wisdom in why you're not going to want to use some other carriers as much, even though they're good carriers. So get ready, grab your pen and paper. I'm going to help you understand why you want to use certain carriers and why you won't want to use others to help you maintain higher levels of profitability and power as you're helping your prospects. So grab your pen, grab your paper. I'm going to bring it to you. And if this content helps you today, please consider subscribing. And by all means, reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. I've got some free resources there for your taking, and I appreciate you joining me today. So carrier number one is Prosperity Life. Why do I like Prosperity Life and why do other agents love Prosperity Life? It's because they've got insanely good Social Security billing. This is what a lot of other carriers lack. All right. There's some really good carriers out there, and they may do and say that they do, okay, Social Security billing on the second, third, and fourth Wednesday of the month. And that is correct for a lot of carriers. But this is what makes Prosperity a very unique value proposition for you, the agent, and more importantly, the prospect. The business that sticks, the business that stays is the business that what? Pays, right? And you want to get paid, okay? It's so important that you get paid so that you maintain profitability. It's also insanely important that you keep that business on the books so that your client wins, all right? The last thing you want to do is write some business and then it goes bonk, okay? The payments go bounce, 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 and then you're going to bounce yourself out of the business because you are taking the wrong advice in. So when you sell final expense telesales, carrier number one, and I'm going to share a couple of them with you, you're going to want to know. So carrier number one is Prosperity Life. They're the only carrier, to my knowledge, as of 2022, that implements true Social Security billing for people that are paid on the first and the third of the month. So why is this important to you? Well, let's just grab a Social Security calendar, all right? If you don't have one of these, please reach out on my website. I do train, coach, and recruit agents across this nation. I'll give this to you. Go to my website. It'll come to you free 99, okay? But this is so powerful to grasp. So Prosperity Life does true Social Security billing. So for example, here we are in April. Okay, as of the recording of this video of 2022. The third of the month falls on a Sunday. So if you wrote, for example, American Amicable, if you wrote Mutual of Omaha, if you wrote any of these other companies, even Royal Neighbors or GTL or Liberty Bankers Life, great companies, okay? But on the third of the month is when you have the auto set up, the automatic deduction. Okay, all these sweet people were paid this month on the first. Well, you know what you're going to find as an insurance agent if you're not using Prosperity Life? Bounce, bounce, bounce. The business goes bonk, and this month is going to be horrific for you because these carriers aren't taking the money out when they truly get paid. And now these sweet people, okay, are going to spend their money, and you're not going to find yourself maybe as happy because you didn't use Prosperity Life. So tip number one, use a carrier like Prosperity, and they're the only one that I know of that does true Social Security billing. That is powerful because sometimes people get paid on the first of the month. Well, with Social Security, let me share with you, if you look at my calendar that I'll give you for free on my website, when you are taking money out on the first, a lot of companies, if you say the first, it means the first. Well, they may have been paid on the 28th of the month before, and then your policies are going bounce, bounce, bounce. The client isn't winning. You're not winning either by using a carrier that's not Prosperity Life. And my goodness, this is important to you, the agent, to grasp. So Prosperity Life, powerful carrier in the Social Security billing environment. Prosperity Life takes direct express. That's powerful. So you don't have to say no if your prospect doesn't have a check. All right, that's good to know. So when you use Prosperity Life, they take checks, they take savings, they take EFT, they take direct express, they take card business, and they verify the banking, which is going to be more secure for you, the agent writing business. The business that sticks, the business that stays is the one that pays. Always keep that in perspective when you're choosing final expense telesales carriers. And I've done this a long time. So Prosperity Life is a go-to. They're a gold mine for your prospects and how they take care of them. Their customer service is bar none. They do a great job at helping you, the agent, but also handling your clients' when they need to maybe fix a couple things, maybe their billing needs to change a date, they're very responsive. There's some other carriers out there, boy. I had one of, my agents that was on the line with an insurance company, not the ones I'm going to share with you, and over 3 hours before customer service picked up for him. That's horrible. So you want to use carriers that are agent friendly, but more importantly, client friendly. So Prosperity Life, they're all about Social Security billing. They're the only carrier, as is the production of this video, that does true Social Security billing on the first and the third. If you know another one, please correct me in the comments here. But as of the date of this video, they're the only one that does true Social Security billing on the first and the third. So people that are on disability, things of that nature, you got a lot of good folks that are paid on the first and the third. You want to use a carrier that is in alignment, that takes that money. If they're paid on midnight, on the first, when really they get paid on the third, they'll coordinate it on the first for those third people and take it out at like 12:01. They're powerful. They're one of the best with true Social Security billing in the business, in my opinion. So use Prosperity Life a lot because of Social Security billing. The business will be stickier even when you're using Direct Express. They're phenomenal. The stick rate, the stay rate of these policies is amazing. So Prosperity Life, extremely versatile. They use checking, they use savings, they use EFT, they use cards, they take Direct Express. That's powerful for you, but their underwriting is extremely versatile. Prosperity, their Vista product, has level benefits, graded benefits, modified benefits, and it pays you the same commission. That's powerful for you, the agent, when you're trying to maintain profitability with telephone sales, Medicare insurance sales, but with final expense insurance sales, you want tremendous profitability. You want to make sure that you're paid the same, no matter if you're selling level, graded, or modified. This stuff matters for your profitability. Most other carriers, when you have an ROP business, modified business, they pay you less. And that's not the greatest for your profitability. But versatility of underwriting is powerful. Prosperity Life is also like an instant decision 99% of the time. So when you take this client to this company, you're going to know right here, right now, if they'll shake hands. That's powerful. The fact that they give you an instant decision so you can give that client the coverage. The last thing you want to do is use a carrier that does not give you an instant decision. It's not good. It's going to get you hurt and harmed, I promise you. So Social Security billing is powerful. Versatility of underwriting is powerful. Prosperity Life, one of the best in the business that I know of. They will take people with congestive heart failure, not a problem. Diabetic with neuropathy, not a problem. Schizophrenia, bipolar, a host of issues. Prosperity Life is a go-to with their Vista product. Okay, so it's a powerful product in this marketplace for you, the agent. So good, true Social Security billing is a major point here. Good versatility in underwriting. You can write probably 90+% of your business with this carrier. And if you stay on one carrier and get really good with one carrier, 2 or 3 carriers, you'll be an agent that is more profitable than an agent that is a jack of all trades and a master of none. So understand Prosperity is a great priced carrier. They've got another niche as well. Prosperity Life will give someone that, let's say, chews tobacco, a non-cigarette price, a non-smoker rating. Someone that smokes a cigar, for example, Prosperity Life will give that great client a non-tobacco rate, because the only question on the application for Prosperity's Vista product is, do you smoke cigarettes? Anything that's not a cigarette, they're happy about. Extremely 420 friendly. They're a great, great carrier for final expense telesales. Another reason that you're going to want to use Prosperity Life is you can do everything with the power of the phone. You're not going to find yourself frustrated like you will with a lot of other carriers in the biz that require e-signatures, emails, DocuSigns, all that fun stuff that finds you frustrated and finds the poor prospect without coverage. You've got to move the needle here. The clients need you. They want what you have. Prosperity Life has this dialed in. You can do everything with a telephone call. If you're on the phone with that client, you can find an answer, instant decision. They're going to say yes or no, whether it's level, graded, or modified, right on that phone call. You're going to find out without waiting. Powerful, powerful company, powerful products that they offer. So the Vista product is their whole life offering. Level, graded, and modified. They do true Social Security billing. To recap, huge versatility in underwriting. That's big. The fact that you can take care of sweet people that have congestive heart failure, that have cancer, that have a host of issues, bipolar, schizophrenia, it doesn't really matter. This carrier can do it, and it's very simple. Their application is A, B, and C, and I teach and train on this product. It's phenomenal. So great go-to carrier, and you're going to want to use them a lot. Okay. They're a phenomenal carrier, and it's because of these reasons right here. They're very agent friendly, very agent friendly. All right. So one of my favorite carriers is Prosperity Life. There you go. That's the reason why you use them. Now, Prosperity Life also has another product. Okay. So the Vista product is age 50 to age 80. Prosperity Life has another product, which is the same company. Guess what? You can use another product with them. Phenomenal. It's called Prime Term to age 100. It's age 40 to age 80. Very simple application. Very good for your client, but they don't have a problem with the chargeback risks. So you would normally use maybe some other carriers for congestive heart failure. Well, go use Prosperity Modified, all right? Or use a Prime Term to age 100. A lot of other carriers out there that you're going to want to kind of steer clear of and not use as much is a company that maybe starts with an A, ends with a G, guaranteed issue carrier. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know that carrier's got a 24-month chargeback risk, 24 month. Okay. Meaning that you write the business and 23 and a half months later, through no fault of you, the client passes away. You now have a chargeback, right? If you use Prosperity Life and you use their modified, okay, policy with someone with congestive heart failure, or you use the Prime Term to age 100 product for them, and let's say the client died a year in, you won't have any chargeback risk. Phenomenal, right? You keep the money in your pocket so that you can move forward in your business. You don't want to use carriers that are like, for example, the baby food company. Don't use that carrier because it also has an inherent risk of chargeback. A lot of those carriers have a 24-month chargeback risk. You don't need to be using guaranteed issue carriers when you can help your client in more powerful ways with the Prime Term to age 100 product, or Prosperity Life's modified offering, graded offering, or maybe even a level offering. Prosperity can do a lot. They've got niches in this market that not a lot of companies do, but it's very pro-agent as a company. You want to use companies that are good for the client, good for the prospect, but also good for you, the agent, because having a 24-month chargeback risk by using, okay, a company that ends in G, or using maybe a baby food guaranteed issue company, let me share with you, they're good companies, but you've got a longer risk of chargeback, team, and that's not great for you, the agent force. Am I right? So you got to really understand, you want to use carriers that don't put you out there at risk for a major chargeback. You want to mitigate that chargeback risk. You only want to use carriers that have no more than a 12-month chargeback risk if you can help it. And for example, the ones that end in G, or maybe the baby food type, okay, guaranteed issue carrier, that chargeback risk goes a long time, up to 24 months to you, where you're going to have to pay something back to the insurance company. If the person is that compromised in their health, do you really want to put the money that you've been paid, that capital, on the line for 24 months? I know I don't. So be deliberate in the carriers that you use here. And I hope this content is helping you today. Prosperity Life can handle a lot of things that other agents may go to. For example, a guaranteed issue carrier. Prosperity Life has it dialed down. So understand the Prime Term to age 1 product is only like a couple health questions. It can take people that even have, for example, Alzheimer's. If they've had Alzheimer's for 2.5 years, they'll take them. Okay, great product. Prime Term to age 100 is a powerful product. And same with Prosperity's Vista product, which is their whole life product, level, graded, and modified. Great company. But this is why you want to use a carrier like this instead of using a carrier that gives you, the agent, an inherent risk of chargebacks. So first carrier, Prosperity Life, amazing. A carrier maybe to not use as much is going to be the baby food company, okay, or maybe the carrier that starts with an A, ends with a G. There you go. And that's my reason why. I hope this helps you, because a lot of IMOs, a lot of FMOs, they don't share with you the fact that you've got an inherent risk of loss by using certain offerings, when then you find it out too little too late and you go, whoa, why am I getting charged back on this 23 months deep? Why am I paying money back to the company when they've had this policy for a year and a half? That's not a laughing matter when you're trying to move forward in this industry. So the second carrier for final expense telesales of 2022 is going to be Royal Neighbors of America. They're powerful. You can do everything by phone, and they give you an instant handshake. If they can approve this client, they'll take them. They are very friendly for clients. They're amazing. It's a great phone interview. It goes really quick, and you get everything done, one and done. All right. You want to use a company that can give you a decision right here, right now, like Prosperity Life, Or Royal Neighbors of America is also a great choice. Both of these carriers use voice signature. It's agent friendly. Royal Neighbors is also very agent friendly. They're great. Make a phone call, get the client hopefully protected. If Royal Neighbors can approve them, yes, you get a handshake, you get a certificate number, move on down the road, go on to your next call. They've got great rates. Prosperity Life, by the way, has phenomenal rates as well. It's phenomenal. And the fact that they've got powerful things for your clients, it's good. Royal Neighbors also has powerful things for your prospects because you can use the mighty phone to handle everything. And I mean everything. You don't even need a computer to sell Royal Neighbors by phone. Their phone interview process is phenomenal, and so is Prosperity Life. You want to use voice verification carriers if you want to do phenomenal things in final expense telesales. So carrier number one, you're going to want to use Prosperity Life big time. You're going to also want to use Royal Neighbors of America. They're diabetic friendly. They don't have a height and weight chart. Okay. They take blood thinners. They take a host of things that a lot of other carriers won't, and they'll give these sweet people day one. So understand that Royal Neighbors is a phenomenal fraternal company, and they've been in business a long time. Prosperity Life, great agent interface, amazing social security billing. But when you use Royal Neighbors of America, understand that Royal Neighbors of America, great company, but they won't take card business. They just don't. As of the recording of this video, Royal Neighbors does not take cards. So if your sweet client uses a card, you're out like trout here. And also Royal Neighbors does not do true social security billing as of the date of this video for people that are paid on the 1st and the 3rd of the month. They do social security billing on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Wednesday, like every other carrier, very well. But on the 1st and the 3rd of the month, if they don't take that money out on the date these sweet people get paid and it comes over a weekend, and the 1st comes around and that's a weekend and they got paid on the 29th or the 30th of the month before, you're going to find yourself as an insurance agent frustrated. But understand this when you're moving forward with your own carrier selection. But these are the top carriers. Royal Neighbors is one of them. So carrier number two, Royal Neighbors, amazing carrier, very friendly. Okay, for diabetics, they're friendly for height and weight. They're friendly for just even blood thinners. They're a great carrier to be a go-to for you, the agent, and they take great care of your prospects. So really good agent-friendly carrier. If you call, you get humans on the phone like that. Same with Prosperity. Very quick to help you, the agent, and very quick, by the way, to help your prospects if there's ever a billing issue, just like Prosperity Life. It's all about taking care of our prospects and the sweet people that we provide coverage for through these insurance companies. But Prosperity Life is the go-to. Royal Neighbors is also a go-to because you can use the telephone for everything. It's important that you don't use carriers that are email-based carriers if you can prevent it, because even seniors that say, oh, I can use an email, you're going to find out that they really don't. Or you're going to hear, okay, Miss Mary, Mr. John go, oh, I use email. And then you go to use the email signature and they're like, I forgot my password. I'm getting frustrated. Hour later, click. We didn't take care of our clients here. So only use carriers that are voice signature carriers. All right. And that's going to be Prosperity Life. They're the only carrier that does true social security billing. And then use Royal Neighbors because it's just a simple phone call, one and done. It's all about a one call close with final expense telesales 99% of the time. So you want a verbal signature, you want an instant decision, and you want easy interface. In Prosperity takes care of you well as an agent. Royal Neighbors takes care of you well as an agent as well. So let's talk about maybe a guaranteed issue carrier. Okay, you want to use, for example, for a guaranteed issue carrier, you want to use Great Western if you can. Okay, you really do, because it's verbal signature once again. But with Great Western, there's only a 12-month chargeback risk. That's powerful for you, the agent. The business that sticks and stays is the business that pays. Downside to Great Western and any of these guaranteed issue companies that aren't Prosperity. Okay, and Prosperity doesn't have guaranteed issue, but they've got that prime term, which is really close. All right. If they can answer those health questions no and get approved, wow, that business will stay on the books. You go using Great Western, you use, okay, the baby food company, you use the company that starts with an A, ends with a G for guaranteed issue. Okay, you're going to find out real quick that when those sweet people get paid on the 3rd, that when you fall into a month like April, grab my calendar on my website, you're going to find out that clients go bonk, 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 and you're going to be really frustrated because maybe you used the wrong carrier. When you use Great Western, easy interface for your consumer. Very easy interface. But the most important thing here, even if they're a little bit more expensive, is that with Great Western, they're a solid company, but they don't give you a 24-month chargeback risk. This is important. If you go right in those other carriers that I just mentioned prior to, okay, that put you out with a 24-month chargeback risk, like a company that starts with an A, ends with a G, you got a 24-month chargeback risk there. You're going to pay it all back to the company. Are you going to stay in business real long? These people are already compromised. Maybe they've got HIV. Maybe they've got some dread disease that normally, okay, most companies couldn't underwrite. Well, go try to use Prosperity if you can before you go to a Great Western or the other carriers as like a last resort, okay? Guaranteed issue means it's guaranteed to issue, but only use them as a last resort. You really want to lean on some other carriers that implement true Social Security billing. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's so vital to your success that you use a carrier like a Prosperity if you can, okay? Put them in that companies, okay, products, if they'll qualify for it. It's powerful that the business sticks and stays, or did we do the family any good? Probably not. All right. But Great Western does a powerful job of handling the clients. So Great Western, great agent interface, great products, and they only have a 12-month chargeback risk if the client dies after the first year. That's good for you to understand. So if John or Mary dies after 12 months of owning the policy and they had a dread disease, let's say cancer in a bad way, they were terminally ill, kidney dialysis, 100% oxygen use, sweet people, and then they passed away, you keep the money, the pay in your pocket if you use Great Western, if they've owned it for over 12 months. Unlike the other carriers that, boy, you're in trouble. You're going to lose the capital up in your pocket if the client passes away under 24 months. Let me share with you, this happens a lot. So be careful. Don't be finding yourself using maybe some other carriers. Use Great Western here, or maybe try to be a better underwriter like the men and women that partner with me at Jason Final Expense, okay, where we understand underwriting very well. And we put them in a product that is a little better for them. Okay. It just is. So somebody that's got congestive heart failure, we can go Prosperity Life. Okay. And take care of them well. We've got the Vista product. Okay. We got Prime Term to age 100 product, and it does a better job than the guaranteed issue carriers that just gives the client, if they die under that 24-month period, right? All that client gets is the premium plus the little 10% or so of the money back, right? Let's just kind of face it. It's a good thing for them because that's the best they can qualify for. But if there's a better option to take care of our clients, why wouldn't we do that? And if you use Prosperity, for example, you're not going to have a chargeback risk other than the advancement, okay, providing the client was honest in the application. So that's good. So if a client passed away, let's say 9 months deep, and you were advanced, okay, 9 months, well, that's okay. You're going to keep all that money in your pocket if you wrote Prosperity's product with, okay, modified or Prime Term to age 100. As long as the client was truthful in the application and says, yeah, I did have heart failure and they got modified risk, they die on 9 months, you keep every penny of that, okay, commission in your pocket. That's powerful. Where if you wrote Great Western here, if they died on 9 months, you'd pay that back, right? Because they didn't make it to that full 12-month mark. If you wrote, let's say, Prosperity Life, just for example, and the person had, let's say, Alzheimer's, and you wrote them the Prime Term to age 100 product, and they passed away 6 months into it, as long as you were honest on the application, well, you were advanced 9 months, for example, if it was checking business, but they passed away 6 months deep. Your chargeback is only the 3 months that wasn't owed you. You see how this is powerful, I hope. Prosperity is a powerful company, and Great Western is a powerful company as well. But you want to understand how to best position yourself when you're selling final expense by phone. So carrier number one is always going to be Prosperity Life as of the recording of this video. Carrier number two, if they've got a checking account, go Royal Neighbors if you can, if they're diabetics or if they fit this, okay, company's, okay, situation. Royal Neighbors goes 50 to age 80. They're a great company. Prosperity Life is 50 to age 80 as well. And then Prime Term is age 40 to age 80. And if you don't have these carriers, reach out. I'll take good care of you. It's a good thing to use these carriers. All right. So Great Western, also a good carrier, but understand it does have a 12-month chargeback risk. That's a better position for you, the agent, compared to using something else. And you're going to sell what you talk about, right? So Great Western is carrier number 3. So I hope this is helping you today. Another carrier you're going to want to use for final expense phone sales is going to be Liberty Bankers Life. Now, Liberty Bankers Life is a really good company, good interface for you, the agent, and for the prospect, really good rates. But you got to be real careful when you use Liberty Bankers Life. You got to use the little pre-check app. You got to make sure that you look up the prescriptions on their little application. They've got an LBL pre-check app. Make sure you download that bad boy when you consider selling Liberty Bankers Life, because they will be a little pickier than maybe some other carriers that are a little easier on underwriting. So great carrier, but you do your due diligence of downloading that LBL PreCheck app to make sure you run those meds through. And then Liberty Bankers Life will give that client an instant decision by phone if they can approve them, just like Prosperity Life will, just like Royal Neighbors will. So Liberty Bankers Life, powerful. Great Western will also do guaranteed issue and just take care of business right there. So Liberty Bankers Life, great carrier, very easy, very agent friendly. They've got great rates. That's good to know when you're selling final expense by phone. It's all about phone sales, phone sales, phone sales. You don't want to find yourself where you frustrated a client, because a confused client, a frustrated client is one that doesn't find the handshake, doesn't find coverage, and that will decrease your profitability. So Prosperity Life, great company. Royal Neighbors, great company. Great Western, great company. Liberty Bankers Life, great company to use. And you want to use them because there's no barriers to entry. Liberty Bankers Life will tell you right on that phone call if they can take the risk. Prosperity Life will tell you right on that phone call if they'll take the risk. Royal Neighbors will tell you right on that phone call. And then Great Western, it's guaranteed to issue, and you're mitigating chargeback risk here. It's very important that you use these kinds of carriers when you're leaning forward to do phone sales. All right, team. Another carrier that you can use is GTL. Okay, Guarantee Trust Life, great company. Everything can be done with a simple phone call. Once again, you can even give the client the policy number once they're done with the voice verification. They are very easy for folks. It's only like 5 simple health questions, very easy, and a good company. And they go to age 90. They go to age 90. So use GTL as well for maybe an older consumer. But you got to understand GTL also, okay, does not do true Social Security billing on the first and the third. So you're going to once again find yourself frustrated as an agent when you're taking care of great people, when you're using carriers like Royal Neighbors, Liberty Bankers Life, okay, all these other carriers that aren't Prosperity. This is why Prosperity is a go-to team. All these other carriers are good companies, but there's a reason why I have this lineup, okay? You want to use carriers that help the policies stick and stay so that you maintain profitability and you stay in the business. You got to be careful using other carriers that don't utilize true Social Security billing on the first and on the third. This is why I don't use, for example, American Amicable. Good company. We use them every now and then, but they're not my go-to. They're not my main carrier, right? Because they don't do true Social Security billing on the first and the third as of the recording of this video. I called them right before I even did this video, and they says, no, we don't do it. It's going to be done as of the date that you tell us. So if you tell me you're going to take it out on the third, that's when we're going to do it. That's good and all. But if that client gets paid the month prior, you're going to find yourself with a policy that doesn't stick or stay. GTL does the same thing. So do all these other carriers. This is why Prosperity Life is a powerful player. That's why they're my top carrier team. I just want y'all to understand this. So Royal Neighbors is great. Great Western is great. Liberty Bankers Life is great, but you got to take these extra steps of downloading the LBL PreCheck app before you ever use this carrier, because a medication may take them out and may put them in a modified risk. So maybe you want to use a different carrier here. Okay. So use these carriers. You don't want to use, okay, certain carriers a lot that don't give you an instant decision. Okay. This is why Aetna is a great company, but we don't lean on them a lot because they don't always give an instant decision. They'll pend it, or maybe 70% of the time they may not take the risk. They're an amazing company. They really are, but they don't always give you an instant decision. And what takes place with phone sales is you got one shot at this. You got one shot at this. So use the Aetna company when it's appropriate. But if you can't get an instant decision, the moment you're off that phone, you're going to find yourself frustrated. The emotion of the sale goes away the moment you hang this up. And if you call them back because you didn't get an instant decision, you're going to instantly be on your heels when you were trying to help this client. You call them 3-4 days later with bad news, you're not going to be as happy as an insurance agent as if you went to a carrier that gave them an instant decision, which is why they're not in my top list of carriers. Don't use carriers that don't give instant decisions, that don't give verbal, okay, decisions right here, right now, because you've got to be able to reposition as a final expense insurance agent quickly. You only get one shot at this with phone sales. By an act of goodness, you've got this client on the phone. You want to get this taken care of for the family so that they're powerfully protected. So I hope this is helping you today. So to recap, Prosperity Life, amazing. They do level, modified, and graded, and they pay you, the agent, the same commission. That's huge. Okay. Prime terms age 100 with Prosperity Life. Phenomenal product. They give you an instant decision. They tell you right here, right now, if they can approve the client. Now, another thing that Prosperity will do is if a client can't qualify for level, and that's maybe what you quoted them, they'll allow you over the phone to reposition to graded right then, right there, and shake the hand and protect the family. That's huge. A lot of other carriers won't let you modify or move the death benefit up or down when you're on the phone with the clients. That's good to know. Royal Neighbors, though, great company. That's our second carrier that we use a lot of. They're phenomenal. They do a great job. Easy interface. Just use the phone. Once again, I hope you're getting the tune here. Use a carrier that does telephonic voice signature. You want to use voice signatures. It's so important. Only use carriers to the best of your ability that give instant decisions. Any carrier that says pending medical review, any carrier that says we'll get back with you, wow, you're going to lose a lot of business and you're going to lose a lot of profitability in this powerful space. Now, there's also some carriers that we use as well. Reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. I can get you, aligned with some of those. There's some other carriers that are powerful, even for some younger people that, for example, Great Western won't even touch. There's great niches. And let me tell you, in final expense, life insurance sales, the riches are in the niches. It's not about being a jack of all trades, a master of none. You want to master just a couple of these carriers moving forward. When you first start out in final expense telesales, you're only going to use maybe 5 carriers when you first start out. Don't be trying to use every little shiny object. You won't be as successful, I promise. Use carriers that are voice signature based. Use a carrier like Prosperity that does true, and I mean true, Social Security billing for people that are paid on the first and the third. Use the other carriers if you need to for people that are paid on the second, third, and fourth Wednesday of the month. Okay. For those types of carriers, Royal Neighbors does a great job. GTL does a good job. Okay. Liberty Bankers Life does a good job. And my goodness, Great Western does a good job. But when it comes to the first and the third, it's a very unique value proposition here. And you want to do the very best thing by your client. So don't be using a carrier that may be a little cheaper. Okay. If a client is compromised, you want to use a carrier that sticks, use a carrier that stays and keeps that policy on the books so that you maintain profitability, but more importantly, so that the family remains protected, everyone. The last thing you want to do is have this fiat currency in the business where you're using carriers that don't utilize true Social Security billing on the first and third. You're going to find yourself frustrated. You're going to deal with chargeback risks. Every time you look at that Social Security calendar that I gave you, look at how many months this takes place. It's actually quite a bit. And a lot of agents that are using the baby food company, using the company that starts with an A, ends with a G, that don't have this kind of billing on the first and the third, you're going to find yourself with chargebacks all over the place. And these clients are flighty. You got one shot at this. You want to make sure that you get this done right, get it done well, and do it in an environment that keeps that business on the books. All right. You believe in what you do, which is why you're here selling final expense. But this is why you want to use these carriers. All right. So to recap, Prosperity Life, Royal Neighbors, Great Western, Liberty Bankers Life, and GTL. They're your go-tos. Some other honorable mentions. Okay. Aetna is good sometimes. Okay. For the right person, AM sometimes. But once again, the only carrier to my knowledge that is true Social Security billing is Prosperity Life. They're going to be the leading carrier here for final expense telesales because versatility of underwriting. The only carrier I know of that does true Social Security billing on the first and the third, and they take direct express, they take card business. Most of these other carriers, GTL doesn't take cards, so you're out like trout. Liberty Bankers Life doesn't take cards, you're out like trout. Okay, Royal Neighbors of America doesn't take card business, you're out. So you want to use a carrier like a Great Western, use a carrier like a Prosperity Life that takes that card business and helps your client capitalize on the protection that they need. So these are my top carriers of 2022. And if you'd like some additional carriers that maybe you don't know about, or you need some guaranteed issue carriers for people that are younger, by all means, reach out. Or if you need some annuity carriers to really take care of people, I'll get that list out to you as well. So hope this has helped you today. And if you need anything at all, reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. Be more profitable as you move forward with this knowledge. And I hope this serves you well. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you.